Good morning, everybody. This is DK305007 with Free the Trade. And this is market analysis. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the charts today. Alrighty. Alright, we've got a good look at SPY here. Currently trading around 563.59. Yesterday it had a little bit of a spike after the FOMC meetings. I don't know, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. Alright, we're trading above the SMA 200. It looks like we've been correcting and bouncing off of the SMA 200, so I'm hopeful that that will continue. And then we get to the overnight, and we completely rocket through the SMA 200 and leave that just, practically on the floor there. So a little bit discouraging, but yeah, it's very interesting what's going on in the markets right now. Fear and greed, it's currently sitting at 22, which is up from yesterday and up a lot from the past couple of weeks where we were hitting levels like 13, 15, and 17. So that's a good thing to see. As far as the FOMC data, it was pretty straightforward. It seemed kind of neutral or dovish. Jerome Powell came out and said that pretty much the economy was doing great, or not great, but it's doing fine, that the best course of action was to really do nothing. There may be some short-term increased inflation, but in the long term, things are looking fine for decreased inflation over time, and so there were no rate cuts yesterday. I actually didn't trade yesterday. I did close a trade, but I didn't trade and start a new one. I intended to. But unfortunately, the market closed before I was able to make those trades. But yeah, that kind of brings us up to today. We have transferred our cash balance out of Robinhood just because I don't really like Robinhood anyways. We are currently opening up a new account in Tasty Trade to continue the $30 options account challenge there. And yeah, we're going to take a look at Tasty Trade today. I'm going to go over some of the features in more detail. We might even place a trade or a couple of trades. And if everyone is interested, we might actually start looking more into swing trades, since I know there's a lot of people who do not have level 3 options, or if they do have level 3 options, they prefer to do the level 1 and level 2 option trades. So yeah, that's a bit about today. Good morning. Good morning, Mig. And yeah, let's jump into it. Yahoo Finance, here's the news. Trump starts to turn up the pressure on the Fed. Trump suggested the Fed would be much better off lowering interest rates as his tariffs are set to take hold in the economy. I don't know how I feel about this news. Traditionally, the Fed is kind of turned loose to run on its own and make those decisions on their own. I don't really know how I feel about pressure being put on the president, or the president putting pressure on the Fed. A rate cut would cause an increase in the stock market generally, because it promotes increased bullish activity. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to leave that one alone. Let's take a look at SPY on the news. 567.13 close. A 563.74 $3 difference at open, or I'm sorry, at pre-market before open. Futures are currently down to 565.25. I'm sorry, $5,654.25. Seems like everything's really, really up today. besides some of these indexes here. See if we've got any particular news about this. I don't know if anyone saw the post I made in the Discord yesterday, but there was a really, really cool video. Well, not just a video, there was a really cool announcement made at the NVIDIA GTC. At the NVIDIA keynote here. Let's see. I might kind of want to go over it because it's just really, really neat. I wonder if there is a way. Maybe I need to show the photos. Okay. So NVIDIA announced a lot of additional. Well, actually, first of all they announced that their, I think it's Blackwell series of products, it was gaining a lot of support and fast growing of customers. So I'm kind of bullish about NVIDIA, to be honest, because that's going to make up a big part of the industry as far as, you know, if you look at the business to business and then the business to consumer markets and such, you kind of understand that a business is going to buy more product and more expensive than a general consumer. And so NVIDIA has in the past been very marketed towards like gamers and video editors and Photoshop expert, graphic designers, things like that, which NVIDIA GPUs are great to use for those. I've done some of those things and used NVIDIA. But when you look at that versus, you know, maybe an AI data center, which will buy 1,000 graphics cards versus like a marketing company or an agency, which would buy, you know, maybe 10, you kind of see, or an individual who would buy like 1 or 2, you see the scalability of the business to business. So it's really exciting that that's beginning to take off. But the second thing that they announced that I was really, really excited is something called Groot, which is an open source physics engine for robotics. And that's kind of what I'm trying to show you guys here. All right, here we go. So this is Blue. This is a robot that was created by a collaboration between Google, NVIDIA, and Disney. And it looks kind of like a mix of R2-D2 and BB-8 and some of the other Star Wars drones. But yeah, this is a real robot. It looks almost like a 3D rendering, but here's the actual robot at the keynote. And it's very neat because, you know, it's not hooked up to anything. It's just walking around on the stage. And then Jensen, who is the CEO of NVIDIA, pointed to a spot on the floor and said, "Hey, how about you go stand over there?" And then also like Wally, yes. And so then this robot turns around and it walks over to the point, and he said, "Yeah, that's good." And so it turns around and it's reacting to the things he's saying, and it's super, super neat. And it was almost like a little puppy, and it was kind of cool. I don't know if we can play a large clip without getting shut down or whatever for copyright, but I am going to try to, maybe we can do something like this. All right, so there it is there. I want to find where he tells it to walk around.
Just so you know, Blue has 2 computers, 2 NVIDIA computers inside.
And I'm skipping through this because I don't want to to get copyright claimed. But
are you ready? Let's finish it up. We have another announcement. You're good. You're good. Just stand right here. Stand right here. Stand right here. All right, good. Right there. That's good. All right, stand.
All right. So just I don't know if you've looked into technology and stuff before that we've had before, like the DARPA robots or the Boston, I think it's Boston Technology robots, where they, you know, send information from a computer. It's hooked up by wires, but this is the first that I've personally seen, like, a robot be able to engage with its surroundings without being connected to something, be able to take input that's spoken to it, and you know, execute commands and stuff on command. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of crazy, but I mean, if you can't see the potential in that technology and stuff, I mean, it's extremely bullish. But yeah, it is really, I know Boston Technology robots are really advanced, but I've looked into some of the stuff that Google's been working on with their they've had some robotic arms, and they're kind of attached to a table, and they'll sort things, and they'll do all these things. I've been looking at that, but it looks like they've been working on this in secret and released it, and it's phenomenal. Of course, this is a demo, so we always have to consider that too, but it was pretty cool. And come on, let's be honest, the robot was really cute, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, but yeah, that was a collaboration of Disney, Google, and Nvidia, from what I've heard. All right. So yeah, a lot of cool things going on. There was a newscaster yesterday who asked, I think it was the Secretary of, let's see, Tesla. Okay. I don't remember who it was exactly. I'm it's slipping my mind. It was the Secretary of... Was it the Secretary of... Let's see. It might have been the Secretary of Commerce. Actually, yeah, here it is. So yeah, so the Secretary of Commerce actually was in an interview on television, and he began to basically just say, hey, everyone, buy Tesla stock, which is really crazy, first of all, when you consider the implications that could have on him for recommending, I don't know, but recommending a stock on television is kind of crazy. But that being said, it does get news out about Tesla, and it does, it could increase sentiment. Currently, it's not up right now, but we could see a boost in Tesla prices in the short term because of things like that. I know when Donald Trump made the announcement that he was going to buy a Tesla, and then other news media outlets or like a radio show that I know of said that they were going to buy a Tesla and give it away. And, you know, the Tesla stock had a little bit of a pump from that. Even though it's been on a sharp decline, this was probably somewhere around here that announcement made by President Trump. And then you see that little bump. So you could see something like that, like a short-term trade. Do I recommend Tesla in the long run? That's hard to say, because at I would wait until earnings on April, I think it's like April 28th. I'm pulling this from my head, but earnings are coming up in April for Tesla. April 23rd. So April 23rd, earnings come up, and that's going to tell us how far Tesla is from its fair value price, or from its EPS, earnings per share, that it should probably be trading at. And so I would probably stay away from Tesla for now, just because it does seem overvalued, even at its current trading levels. Okay, and going back to SPY. Man, we're covering a lot of ground today. It feels like I haven't been on this for... Oh, another announcement. I may have to cut this stream short today. We are having some guests over a little bit later, so could potentially inhibit the stream here. So, but yeah, I will keep you guys informed on that. Anything else? Tasty Trade. We did switch our account over from Robinhood. This is not the $30 options account anymore. Actually, the $30 options account, which would be this one, has been transferred to Tasty Trade. I'm currently opening a new account with them, and we'll be doing our $30 options account there rather than in Robinhood. And this is one of 5 accounts that I have with Robinhood. I'm probably going to close this one though. And the reason being is that Robinhood has delayed quotes. Robinhood is also not made for options, and options can be a little more risky on Robinhood because of that. Stops aren't the best, and fills aren't the best on Robinhood. So we are using Tasty Trade now. Or we will be. As soon as the brokerage transfer finishes or finalizes. All right, what else is going on in the markets? As I mentioned earlier, the FOMC meeting was yesterday. It was kind of neutral. Didn't really change anything. Futures are down a little bit today. There was a bit of a rally yesterday during and after the FOMC meeting. I don't know that it's going to have how long does it take to transfer? Let's see. I started it last week. And so basically, like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at the most. I need to clarify that though, because it doesn't really take exactly that long. Let me see. I'll share my screen in just a second, but I want to make sure I'm not doxing myself real fast. Okay. Basically, make sure that this is not... I don't know that I can show you guys this, because it does have some account data, but basically, if you go into the Tasty Trade, if you log into Tasty Trade and you open an account, you're able to log into your Robinhood account immediately. And basically it's automated. You don't have to withdraw and then transfer. It's all automated. It's free. And basically it takes about a week and a half for the first initial audit of your account and then transfer to Tasty Trade. And then they'll do a secondary one just to catch anything they may have missed on the first one. That can take maybe another week and a half to 2 weeks for that one to finish. And so I started my transfer on, I think it was like the 9th, or so I guess the 10th maybe of March, and it will be done on the 27th. Today is the 20th, and it's finished its first leg. That is not the account you see on screen. The account you see on screen is a different account, so we don't have access to the $30 options account yet, but that isn't due to anything related to the to Tasty Trader, the transfer. That's just because let's see. That is because I am currently opening a new account for the $30 options account. This is a different account, an old account that I've had with Tasty Trade. I did fund this with I think like $200 or $300 or something like that. Made some trades, and it is now currently sitting at $391.65. So we are able to do it. We are able to make some trades today. It does have level 3 options, so we can do spreads. And yeah, I think I'm going to show you guys how the Tasty Trade platform works, and we'll go from there. I really do like Tasty Trade. It's built for options traders. It's a whole lot better than Robinhood. It does have a mobile app. It's not mobile friendly, but it works on the app. Personally, I would prefer to make my trades on the desktop platform. But yeah, the charts are very, very nice, very pretty. You can see what's going on very well. You can set up your standard indicators like the RSI and MACD, as you can see here. I think on this account, I'm going to focus on swing trades, level 3 plays, and level 2 plays. Things like credit spreads, butterflies, broken wing butterflies, which is something I've been working with quite a bit recently, just not on stream. A broken wing butterfly is something like this here. Actually, we'll just show you a standard butterfly. Standard butterfly. Okay, there's a standard butterfly. A broken wing butterfly is when one of these, well, actually, let's do this. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make it a 1 quantity, and we'll sell this one here too. Okay. So basically a standard butterfly is a trade where you have 2 middle contracts which are sold, and then 2 outer wings which are bought. It's basically 2 spreads placed at the same time. It creates this interesting hedge, if you will, where you're hoping that the price will land within the green area. If you do, you make max profit. If it goes outside, you won't make the max profit. And how a broken wing butterfly is when you take one of these sides and you skew it over so that there is one of the legs or one of the spreads is wider than the other. So in this case, this is about a $5 spread here. And there's the market opening. And this one here is about a $10 spread. And it's not really showing very well here, but basically what happens in that case, actually, I'm going to take a look at the charts at market open. Yeah, big, high volume sell off here. It'd be interesting to see what happens here later. But basically, on these broken wing butterflies, you are going to set these at the money or in the money, and you want to close them before they expire. Generally, you want to make sure you're not paying a debit for them. You want to make sure you're getting a credit. And I don't know, they can be very, very good for a directional trade, particularly things like this here. You can set it right here. You buy it for $27 and you can make approximately $469 by spending $27 if you set it up here and it goes to max profit. I generally like to take profit at like 25%. So if it's $469, I could maybe walk away with $100. But really anything over like, I don't know, anything, any type of profit's good. Let's just go with that. Any type of profit's good. This is what I was wanting to show you guys earlier, but I didn't have the right, let's see, I didn't have the right, filters turned on so you could see the profit. Okay, there we go. So on these broken wings, if you skew it over to the side and you have a wider one on one side, you are making profit if it goes one way. So how you can do this is you could set it up here, and then the price moves in, you start making profit, and then if it keeps going past it and you're not able to sit and watch it, you continue to make at least the minimum amount of profit. Same way the other way, if this one is shorter and this one's the wider spread, you can get a credit of 30 bucks. And then as time goes on, you will, if it passes your target price, you will continue to make that small profit. Optionally, you could do it the other way. Although these are better for like a directional trade in lieu of like a straight call, long call, or a long put. I kind of prefer these because they're cheaper and they're more buying power efficient. But we will go into more detail about those. I think we're still, I think we've got a good handle on credit spreads. We'll go into butterflies next, potentially. But I also want to teach you guys about iron condors. So I think that's what we might be making today. All right, currently sitting around 50 on the RSI, 14 MACD crossover in a buy position right now. Looks like we have a strong upward movement in the price. There wasn't really anything to cause this sell-off. I didn't see any news headlines. If we look over here, we actually have news headlines in Tasty Trade, which are really helpful. Doesn't seem to be any new news though. Yeah, so that is unfortunate, I guess. But going into a trade. So as I mentioned previously, this account, we're going to focus on longer term trades. And so generally what that would entail is like a 45-day period. This is the closest to 45 days, so I would go here. Let me open up these strikes and change this out. All right. So 43 days is the longest out we can do one of these. With that, the expected move is going to be 29 and 27, with a implied volatility of 19.4%. And so with that, we can take that into consideration. It equates to about $30 in movements across the chart. So we can take that and we can count out the 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on. $20. All right, here would be 30. This is about a 26 delta, and we could sell that, and we could buy that. Then we're going to go to the other side, do the same. $20. And $30. And we can sell that one and buy that one. Okay, so now we have a large spread. And generally, let me see, did I do this right? I don't think I did. Hold on. No, I did for sure. Where's my delta? Hang on. Where's the delta? There we go. All right, much better. Okay. Okay, so basically, this is a wide iron condor here. Basically, it states that just to make it easier to see. And I'm going to turn off that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is a wide iron condor, and basically if the stock stays in between this, we can make, up to, in this it says $709 with a buying power of $2,000. I have made this extra wide just to kind of show you something. Probability of profitability is about 69%. The probability of getting 50% of the profit is around 80%. It does have a negative delta, but basically you can set this wide iron condor out for 45 days and then close it halfway around 21 days, and you can collect a large portion of that profit without really having too much risk, since the most of that risk is going to come closer to the expiration date. And so this is kind of a longer strategy that I like to do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be as wide as this, but my point in showing you how wide you can make them is you can really minimize your risk. If we look at SPY, it moves like 5%. I'm not 5%, $5 values up and down on average. And so if we set this out to 30, a movement up and down $30 on SPY, then the chances that it's actually going to do that without a major catalyst are very, very low. And if it does, we have plenty of time for it to move back within our trading time zone. And so these are a really good way to use buying power to capitalize on minimal movements by putting walls on the outsides of each of these around on both sides of the price. So in reality, I've found personally, I kind of wanted to show you that, but in reality, I've found you could use these standard deviations, which are these dashed lines. One standard deviation would be here, 2 standard deviations would be there, or 1 and 2 standard deviations. Or what I like to do is you can use the delta numbers. So personally, I really prefer like a 30 delta or a 35 delta. I've also found that for shorter ones, a 40 delta works really well, like a 40 or 45. Personally though, just a 35 delta is generally a really good risk to reward. It's about like a 68% probability or 70%, but then also offers a lot more premium and such up front. So here we go. This one costs $28. We make $71 max, and it's set out for 45 days. Let's take a look at the curve. There it is. And okay, there we go. $72, and looks like a max loss of $29 right now. So yeah, we can set that up here, Probability of profitability is 27%. Probability of 50% profit is about 34. It's not as probable as it used to be, but since we have it in the middle, I mean, the likelihood that it stays within these, at least for the short term, while we gain some of that premium, is pretty high. Once it gets closer to, say, 21 days to expiration, since this is a 45-day to expiration spread, we can actually roll it and gain more premium. So I am going to place this trade now. Once again, it is for 45 days out. It is not the butterfly, it is an iron condor. And just to show you, it's a long iron condor. I'm sorry, a short iron condor. Boom. And it is on the 35 deltas. You can make it safer by going out to like the 25 delta or the 20 delta. So something right here, which is around the first standard deviation. It's actually, it looks like this one is a little more expensive. Was that because it's closer? Okay. All right, I think that's what I had, yeah. We can try moving it back and forth to see maybe if we center it in a different level, if it becomes more profitable or less profitable. Right now, okay, if we move it right here, it becomes 65% more profitable. We can see that it has a higher maximum risk on the upside. If we go that way, here it becomes a little bit less, but it's about 30% profitability. I don't know. I kind of like this though. I think I'm just going to set it up. I'm going to set it up right there. And we want to get the highest fill possible because that increases our premium amount. So I think maybe like a 75 credit would be good. And we're going to go ahead and send it. And I think I just doxed myself, but that's okay. It is working. Hopefully that fills. Oh, no. I think I've done this wrong. I don't know that I set it out for 4. Yeah, this is a 15-day. That's not what I meant to do. Let's go ahead and cancel that and reset that up. I forgot when I changed it and did this that it doesn't go out to the 45-day. It goes out to the 15. So that's my bad. Okay, there we go. Out to the 45-day again. Right, and we are going to go back to the table. And I am going to pull this back down to the 35. That's why it wasn't pricing properly. I was confused about that, but now I understand. Yeah. Yes. All right. And so here is the, let's see. Here's what we're actually going to place here. Okay. And I think that's good. Yeah. That's the one that I meant to place. There we go. Okay, and now it's working for real. And once, maybe next week or whenever we meet again, we will continue to monitor that and make adjustments to it as changes occur, whether that be through news or whatever. But that's the first one we're going to do. Yeah. You notice that we have received our cash up front now, the $71. I also kind of want to do a short-term credit spread again, or maybe even another, like an iron condor like that. Let's take a look at where we're trading today. I'm going to do a 5 minute and I'm going to do a 5 day. Okay. Currently look like we're heading towards. Okay. So potentially an upside. Our price levels are around 562. I can go out to like 560. That looks like a strong support. What is this here? And is that drawings that I put on there? I think that is. Let's see. Remove drawings, remove all. Boom. Okay. So I think like a 560, since we have, that gives us a $2 difference. What is our max here? We've have 571. Yeah, really haven't gone outside of that 571 range. So let's go ahead and let's mark it up and do like a 572 or 573. Let's do another position around that, and we're going to do a short-term one. Let's see. So let's do a 1 DTE. This is for tomorrow, which is Friday the 21st. And we said our levels were 562, which is right here. No, I'm sorry, 560, which is right here. And we had another at 72. Okay. This is a similar play. This one's going to cost $55 and leaves us with $45 tomorrow. So I actually kind of want to try that. Let's see if we can go for. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to fill at $50. Let's go for maybe a 45 or no. Let's see. I think I like that. All right, we're going to send that. That's our next position. Here's our current positions here, working on filling. We are trying to get a better fill. Can you do a credit spread so I can see how they're set up on Tasty Trade? Absolutely. In fact, we just did 4 of them technically, but if you want to look at an actual credit spread, we can just choose a side, calls or puts, and then we're going to go with this. I'll set them up as, instead of doing like the iron condor, we'll do like the a credit spread. Let's do a 560. Yeah, let's do a 560. So we'll go to our charts, tables. We'll find our 560 level for 1 DTE. 560 is going to be right about here. And then it's just similar. We'll sell one, buy the other. So we're selling a 560 and we're buying the 559. That gives us a credit of about $27. We can also open that up a little more, say by doing that. Now it's $200, but we're making 85. It's kind of an expensive spread there, but we could do that. $70 and 23. Let's bring it in closer at a 40 delta. $60 and we make 40, 60 or 124 and we make 77. So yeah, that would be a spread, just a credit spread. Alternatively, we could open them up on the other side at 572. Let's see, 572 is here, and we could sell one and then buy the other. That's 83 and gives us a max profit of 17. What we're going to find though is that these are more profitable the closer you get to the money. And so what we tend to want is that the price hits off of one of these levels and goes in the other way. We set it close as close as we can, and then as it bounces off, we profit from the decay in value as the price leaves. So in this case, we would have wanted to set it up for 560 or 562 around here. And as the price leaves, we would be profiting. Conversely, we could wait for the top, set a call credit spread up here, and then as the price drops, then we would profit. So that's how Tasty Trade works with credit spreads. Good morning. Pretty straightforward. Once again, here are our positions. They have not filled yet, so I actually might go in here and just do market pricing just so that they fill. Same with this one. I mean, that one will probably fill. I could just do a market pricing to fill it. And we'll just wait. Hopefully those will fill soon. But those are real positions that I am willing to hold for now. Another thing that we haven't really done is we have only really traded the SPY. So I also like the Qs, which is the NASDAQ ETF, and then also SPX, which is the actual SPY index. I mean, the S&P 500 index, rather than SPY, which is the ETF. All right, here's Q. You can see that we are reaching a point. We could actually place a quick little, like a 480 or 481 call credits, or yeah, call credit spread, which would look like this right here. And let's do that 0 DTE. 481. So I would sell this guy and buy this one at 481, I believe. Yeah, perfect. And here's how that would look. It's currently trading here. If it goes, ooh, hang on, I did that backwards. Sell a call. Is that how we do it? I just went blank on how we do these things. There we go. No, I did it wrong again. There we go. Okay, so the call credit spread, and basically as the price falls, we go farther into the money, and we can make potentially up to $43 at expiration. If we expect that it's going to fall today, we could put it right there and leave it, and we would make 40 bucks at the end of the day. We would be risking 56 bucks on this trade. I am not going to do that because I don't want to do day trades on this. I want to do longer ones. For those buying calls and puts, you would buy a put. Here's why. Because as it goes down into a sell-off cycle, you would buy that put here, and it would increase in value until it corrects. So I'm actually not placing that trade though. I was just giving it as an example. We still have a little bit of time. Let's watch the chart here. Okay, what we're looking at is the QQQs, which is the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. It is about to close into a death cross right here, as you can see on the 9 and 21 SMAs. It is in a sell-off cycle, but this is the 1 minute chart, so this is a short chart. We'd be better off trading the 5 minute here. As you can see, this is it's hanging in between like a Firefly Doji and a just a standard Doji. So just watch how it changes. If you'll notice, these candles are all weighted towards the bottom. And what we're watching on the 1 minute is the 5 minute trying to make it through the SMA 200. See? That's a period of resistance for it. Generally, it'll bounce off of it. Looks like it's going to push through it right now, though. It looks to be doing pretty well against the SMA 200 resistance. So on the 1 minute, we may just see that fall off shortly and open back up as we go into this next buy cycle. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I really think we should move away from the 0 DTEs, just because we've done a lot of those. We've practiced. It was kind of necessary for such a small account, but now that we've gotten a little bit bigger, I think it's safer and more prudent that we start doing longer and farther out trades. So swings, and then like the 30 days and 45 days now. Just because that's going to continue to allow us to be more profitable over the long term, rather than just quick profits and such that we could potentially erase with one trade. These still haven't filled. That's sadness. Might just fill at market. Hopefully that fills. And if that's not working, what I can do is I can fill them one leg at a time. So I can go in and do this spread, and then I can go in and do that alternate spread. Let's see. Positions activity. Okay. I could do... do that one. And then on this one, I'm going to pull it. Let's see. I'm going to sell. That one filled. Good. Boom. And I'll fill that one. And then I can go here. And let's see. This one is 1 day. And just cancel this one. And now we're waiting for this one to close. Now we can open it up so that it closes. Boom. And now we have the same strategy. It's just set up in 2 trades instead of 1 to get it to fill. So there's our current open positions. It's the exact same as if we had filled them together. In this case, we will have to shut them down individually. The benefit to this is that we could potentially monitor and close them individually too. Although I'm pretty sure Tasty Trade allows that, whether you fill them together or not. So. But there you go. Looking at our other positions that are working. This one's still not trading or not closing for whatever reason. I might be able to lower it and force it to close by doing that. There we go. They filled. And now we have all of our positions there. And what we did was 2 iron condors, one for 45 days out, and then one for 1 day out. So none of those are going to result in a day trade, because we'll close one tomorrow, and then we'll close these at 21 days to expiration. So there we go. We can also do, we can do a lot. We can do a lot. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. We haven't ever placed a trade on anything else, but since this isn't the $30 options account, I do kind of want to put a trade on NVIDIA. Let's see. I am bullish on NVIDIA long term. And so this really doesn't matter to me too much, because I'm going to place a farther out trade. So today. Yeah, we're trading right at the SMA 200. Going into a buy cycle, I'm actually going to place a trade on NVIDIA for farther out. So I think I'm going to go with a 15-day. And I'm going to go with a butterfly. And I'm actually going to skew them out a little bit here. This is going to cost me $3 to open, and I have the potential of making $93 on this one. So I am going to open that. It's fluctuating quite a bit here. Let's just get it open. If it will open, we're going to find out. Potentially we could just do a long call. Long call is going to be more expensive though. Another thing we could do is we could open these up a little bit. So something like that right there. And then to make it a true butterfly, we do need to increase the quantity of this one to 2. There we go. And there we have it there. And the cool thing about this is you can widen and close them in with one click, which is amazing. But I think I'm going to set that out right there. Yeah, something like that. I like that. $5 max loss, max profit 100. That's not bad. Let's do you. There we go. It filled. That's cool. Now what I'm actually going to do is on the NVIDIA position. Go ahead and cancel that one. I am going to set in on my position. I am going to set up a bracket order. I should have done this all together. Okay. should have done this already, but okay. There we go. I can set up my target to close it at a certain percentage. Open at 15 days. Okay. I'm actually just going to leave it alone for now. But one thing that I probably should have done is this right here. When I opened that trade on the 15. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. This one's a double. I can go over here to bracket order, and I can actually set up a stop loss and a close profit. Let's do a long call too, just to kind of illustrate that. Do a 30 delta standard little long call here. Let's see, can we afford that? Yes, we can. Here's a 30 delta long call for 15 days out. 125. Looks like we have 2 on accident. Let's go ahead and delete that leg. Here's what we've got. Boom. Okay. Where were we? Sorry about that. Longer short SPY. So we were actually doing a hedge on it. I'll show you my positions here. We did kind of I think we did a credit spread. Okay, so we did a lot of positions on SPY. We did a farther out spread, and then we did a 1 DTE option spread. One is for 45 or 43 days out, which is this iron condor. And then we did another iron condor for 1 day out. Going back to NVIDIA, we were setting up a long call on it. That's what this is. And I was just going to show you how we could do a bracket order with a long call. You would set that up, set your profit, and then also set your loss. So we could do like a 20% stop, which is about $40, and then we could do a take profit at like 95. That works for me. Check everything over, and then let's go back and edit this. Open that up. All right, and then we can fire it off. Boom, it's working. And then once that fills, basically what we'll have is a long call. Hang on, what's going on here? Okay, yeah. So now we have our call filled, and then we have our stop limits and our take profits that are monitoring in the background, and they'll close it automatically for us if we hit our stop or if we'll hit our profit. So that is kind of how that works. and you can see that here with the NVIDIA call, which is this position. And you can see we filled at 197. It will close out at 286, or it will close out at 152, stop loss. Can you put the SPY plays in here? I missed them in real time. We did two. We did two of them. We did a 1 day to expiration, which was just like an iron condor, which basically is two opposite credit spreads. So a call credit spread and a put credit spread. The call credit spread was 572 and 573, 1 DTE, and the put credit spread was 562 and 563. So yeah, let's do that. I'll put them in there. Let's go to our table, make sure we're on SPY. And these would be our positions on the 1 DTE. Be a 573 and 572, and then a 562 and a 563. Looks like we messed up on this one when we tried to put it in. We put it in backwards. Let me look at that. Yeah, we put that in backwards on accident, I think. Oh well, this is why I don't. That's unfortunate. Let me look at how this is going to affect us though. Let's see, 137. So $30 debit. Positions. 562, 563. Yeah, so that's a $4 difference. Thank you for mentioning that, because now I just figured out I made a mistake. What we could do to undo this is we could do an opposite trade. That, but increase it by 2. I don't like doubling down on that. Oops. Also do that. Yeah, I messed this one up. I messed that order up. You're supposed to sell the more expensive one and buy the cheaper one. I sold the less expensive one and bought the more expensive one. So that's my bad. Don't necessarily want to close it though. Let's see. We could take let's see, 160, 114, 115. Let's see. This one's a little difficult. There's so much we could do here to try to change. I mean, if we sold this, I mean, that would just be the exact same, right? We would get $5 back. It would have a, yeah, let's just do that. All right, rejected. What's the reason? Okay. We've got money. It's probably because we have open positions on it. It might be. Oh, well, thanks. I want to close my position. Okay. So that's not going to work. So could do this. Maybe that? Rejected. Why? There we go. It kind of negates that one. Okay. I could have just closed it, but I didn't want to have to close it. So I had to work around it and try to negate messing up that leg, but I think we've done it, so we should be okay. All right. Now let's see if we can do what I actually intended to do rather than what we actually did. 63, 42, 73, 562. Okay. And it looks like SPY is increasing quite well. All right. Where did it end yesterday? Ended up topping out at about 569, 570. Our position gives it up to 72. We should be okay on this trade for now. We are topping it at 572, I believe. All right, yeah, 572. So our break even would be a little bit like 572.30 or something like that. But yeah, let me... I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Because I don't want to send the wrong thing. Because we've opened a lot of positions today. We've already made $7 today on Nvidia. And we're down 14, 13 on SPY, but that's okay because Theta is on our side with the SPY play, and so we're going to be good. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, SPY play. Let me post those in chat real fast, just so we get that done with. SPY play was, let's see, credit. And then a spread at $562, $563. There we go. And we messed up on our put credit spread on accident, which is why we're down so much on it. I may actually change that too. I may just cancel it out. Whatever. I'm just gonna do this. This would have been the easy thing to do anyways. I should have just done that the whole time instead of trying to play around it. That's okay. You've got strong upward momentum over here. Starting to come down a little bit on the 1 minute. Still in a buy. It's overbought though. Technically, you could double down 570 on the 1DTEs. You could get a really good fill price on those right now. So you could say, I mean, you can trade however you want to, but you could do another one of these guys here. Sell and then buy. We don't have enough to do that, so we could bring it in a little closer. Do that. We could do that one. Double down on it. Maybe even get a better fill. Boom. We did get a better fill. Alright, and now we wait. And we're profitable for the day. Will we buy any calls or puts today, as in 0 DTE or 1 DTE? You could technically buy a put right now. I mean, since SPY is dipping, which is why we doubled down. So you could buy a small put. I don't know how profitable that's going to be in the long term, but we do think that it will correct back down to the SMA 200. So it could be a couple dollars of profit here. Just depends. Let's look at the 5 minute, since that's probably safer to trade. Yeah, we're kind of at a middle ground. This looks to be like a graveyard candle that's forming potentially. So it could mean that we are overbought on the RSI 14. So it could mean that we're headed for a downturn correction. It's not crossing over yet on the MACD, but just watching the candle and price action, I think that we'll have a potential dip soon. So you could buy a put. That's up to you though. I just did the trades that I'm going to do. I don't know that I'm going to do any other trades today. Like I said, on this account, since this is not the 30-day option account, we're still waiting for that one to finalize. This is just a different account that I am fooling around with different strategies on. I'm doing this one longer term strategies, so that's why we set out 45-day positions, and we did do a 1 day to expiration because someone asked about credit spreads, but for the most part, this is going to be longer positions. So we did a 15-day NVIDIA trade. We did a 45-day SPY trade, 43-day. And yeah, that's kind of all we got there. We did a call and then we did a butterfly on the NVIDIA just to kind of illustrate directional trades. And as of that, we're just chilling now. Waiting for the profit to come through. Any questions or any other trades or stocks tickers that anybody wants me to look at and talk about? I do want to take a look at Alibaba. Okay. All right. Baba, it is bouncing off its SMA 200 right now. It's a manufacturing, it's a Chinese manufacturing, I think they do tech. They do a lot of different things. But it's doing okay. Looks like it is currently trading at a discount, heading into a crossover. Honestly, I don't recommend trying to day trade stocks like this. These are things that I would recommend doing like a longer term trade on, like a 15-day trade or a 35 or a 45-day trade on. And so if we were going to do like a 45-day trade on Alibaba, we would go out to let's see, we'd go out, if I'm going to do 45 days, I'm going to look at the 3-month chart usually. And with the 3-month chart, I'm going to look at the 4-hour. If it will load. Maybe I'm impatient. 4 hours. There we go. And look at the 5-day. Boom. Let's look at the 3-month. Okay. So here we have Alibaba on the 3-month chart. We can see that it pushed through the SMA 200 back here. Currently heading into a downtrend. Going to correct back off of this SMA 200. I can see that. Oh, we just got filled on something. I'm not sure what. We'll go and take a look at that in a second. Price levels. We've got strong support here. We've got a strong support here. We've got another support somewhere around here, but that's kind of low. I'm thinking maybe about this price level, about 128. 128 is when it's going to bounce again. And so what you could do is wait for it to get down to the 128 price and then buy calls. And as long as everything else looks good, this is good volume. Good. We looked at the technicals on this one a while back, so I'll review them again though, just to be clear. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here's Alibaba. We were looking at their EPS and their PE ratio. So they're pretty good on that. They're about right where they need to be. Everything looks pretty solid. I mean, yeah, this one's pretty cut and dried. It looks like a large company who's making money and who's trading right about where they should be. And so based on that and our previous research and such, without like an external factor, they should be, they should be fine, and they will probably bounce off of this SMA 200 a little bit later down the road. Whether that be here or whether that be out here, we don't know, but you could look for a little bit of lower downside, and then, do like a longer call, or you could do like a leap option on this one. This one would probably be good for a leap option. Now I want to know what field. That's something fill. Did we have an outstanding spread? Leap option, yeah, basically a leap option is a call option. Well, actually it's a contract that's farther than a year. I do not recommend doing puts that far, because unless there's like a black swan event, you'll probably lose out on that trade. But a call option can actually be safer than holding the stock for a year. Can be more liquid, more profitable, and actually changes less on the downward movements than the stock price does over time. And I'll just illustrate that with SPY real fast. If you go out to like the 3-month here, we've had a major decrease. Well, had you had a leap option from like say here to 2027, then you would have a slight dip, but it wouldn't be this whole, if you had 100 shares and it dipped this much, you would have lost more than if you had one call option. And I actually, let me check, because I think I had another brokerage account. I actually have some leap options for 2027 on SPY. So let's take a look at those real quick. Let's do the math. Let me see here. And I'm looking on my phone so that you won't be able to see this. Let's see. Log into this. Okay. All right, 15th of January, 2027. I have a couple different ones. Let's see if I take that one, 57, $5,744. Okay. Okay. It's equal to $8,346. Okay, so had you set up call options back in, let's say, I don't know when this was opened, like December of last year, a leap option for 2027. So that's 2 years out, or back then I guess it would be almost 3 years out. Well, 2 years out. And it's currently down 31%, so about $2,587.26. Now, let's say you had bought shares back then at the same date. We had a high of like 613. So let's do a calculator. Let's say 613 times 100 shares. You would have paid $61,300. It would be down to, let's see, 551 at its lowest, currently at 565 minus, oops, 65. So you would have lost double the amount of money almost. So you would have lost about $4,800 by holding shares, and you would only be down about $2,500 for a call contract worth 100 shares. So because of this, over longer periods, leap options are actually less risky than stocks, because once again, because of this major decline in the stock price, we're down 2,500, where if we had been holding the 100 shares, we'd be down 4,800. So yeah, they react less to those larger dips in the market. Now that being said, don't hold the leap option all the way to expiration. Close it after a year. That's just if you're holding a 2-year leap option, close it after 1 year. And that's just standard. If you're going to open options, close them halfway through their expiration. So on a 15, you want to close it around 7 days. On like a 45 day, you want to close it around 21 days. On a year, you want to close it after 6 months. On a 2-year, you want to close it after 1 year. And that's pretty much a good policy across the board. The reason being, the majority of the risk of options comes into play on the closer it gets to expiration date. So that's when the gamma and the theta really begin to cause that fluctuation in price. So farther out you are, the safer you are. So open them up far out and then close them out halfway. Also use your stop loss and your risk management. Manage your stock trades and you'll do a lot better. Any other questions? Anything else? Jay, I'm not going to be, I already bought a couple of puts, but I'm not going to be trading anything 0 DTE on this particular account. Once we have the $30 options account back from, we were transferring it here to this platform. So once we have that account up, we'll have 2 accounts on Tasty Trade, and we might trade some 0 DTE options there. But on this one, I'm not. This is a longer term account, so this is going to be farther out speculation. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to compare them for my own research and just kind of, just kind of see how they stack up to each other over time. And just use it to learn more. That way I'm not doing like 6 different strategies all in the same account, because then it will become really hard to figure out what's working and what's not working. That's why I separate them out into different accounts. And probably why I have like 15 brokerage accounts now. I don't even know. But each of them are doing something different, and then each of them are for a different reason. I don't know why I ever opened my Robinhood account for options. It was probably one of the worst ideas ever. It's just Robinhood is not great for options. And I thought I could endure it for the meme account, the $30 challenge account, but unfortunately, I'm not liking it, and so I've decided to move it. All right, everyone. Any other questions or any other tickers you'd like us to take a look at? If you haven't already, make sure to give a thumbs up on the video, to subscribe, leave a comment, follow our TikTok. We have a new TikTok out now, and we are going to be releasing some additional small videos, shorts with just different tips and trades, and then also just some sneak peeks at some of the stuff that's coming up soon. So really excited. We haven't forgot about Free the Trade. We're still investing in it, we're still working on it, we're still growing it and trying to make it the community and the educational platform that we want it to be. We don't really know where it's going to go in the long term, but we're excited about it. And just like that, we hit 0 loss for the day and $17 in profit. Unfortunate. And now we're back to -6. That's okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm DK305007. This has been Free the Trade, This is the SPY analysis and live trading. We hope you'll tune in next week on Monday. If so, we'll see you then. And until then, we hope you have a great rest of your day.